I do find a sort of general sense that women are portrayed in specific categories.
I feel like generally women are portrayed two ways in the media. They're either the whore or they're the mother, and there's never any in between for women.
You know, for the success of like any female musician or female actor, there needs to be a certain level of attractiveness, which is more heavily enforced for like women than men.
There's not a lot of, like in any media, there's not a lot of, lead, black or Latino, Latina roles for women in shows, movies, and things like that.
You know, you have someone like Sofia Vergara on Modern Family, right? And she plays this sex kitten, Latina stereotype, right? But we don't really see her in any other way, and that frustrates me, right? Her body is like a part of her personality as opposed to a coincidence or something irrelevant to her personality.
I do think that the media is biased when it comes to women of color in particular. I think there's very limited of those categories that women are portrayed as. Women of color have even narrower and smaller boxes of how they are defined and portrayed in the media.
When you show black women on television or on films, they're usually violent and loud, and they seem like they have no home training. But when it comes to showing white women, they're like calm and delicate and soft-spoken and very nice.
If you look at images of women and what's considered quote-unquote beautiful, it's small, probably a size 2 or 3, or model women, or model-shaped women.
I think it goes back to who's creating the media. And most of the time, directors, writers, and newscasters and journalists are white, cisgendered males, straight males, white straight males.
A lot of people who are making decisions for what goes on television do have somewhat of a responsibility to make sure that the producers and writers and everyone who is involved come from different backgrounds, from diverse backgrounds, so that they have an opportunity to help tell an accurate story.
I think that we need the opportunities to get behind the scenes like you women are doing. And once we are getting the roles of maybe directing and filming, then we'll have the opportunity to show our culture in a different light. I think that as long as we are in front of the camera, the power shifts to somebody who doesn't understand our culture or the beauty of our culture.
I would encourage young women of color to become writers of their own stories, to direct and create plot lines that are relevant to their own experiences and the complexity of their own personalities, struggles, dreams.
Women of color kind of get like the end of the stick, like they kind of the ones who kind of go last, because people of color already kind of have an issue, so and then people already kind of judge women and kind of put them at the lowest. So I think like as a woman of color, you're kind of really like at the bottom, which is kind of a disappointing thing.
So I come from a mixed background. Part of my background is that I'm an Arab American woman. I find very limited portrayals of Arab women in the media. Oftentimes, it's just through a very critical lens of Islam and religion, and seen as sort of a docile or background figure, and rarely as a leader or the complexities of women from the Middle East.
A lot of time the media portrays black women and women of color as less educated, as less sophisticated, as more, sexualized than even how white women are portrayed in the media.
I don't think that we should blame women for, most times women are, and not even just women, even people of color in general are trying to get their foot in the door of art in which they have a passion for, and these are the ways that they see their opportunities in coming. So I don't think that we should blame either women or men for trying to do that.
I think that a lot of people are searching for exposure, and when an opportunity is brought to them where they can be exposed, I think that some women will grab onto that opportunity and do anything.
I do think that once they're in, that they should take a stand and say, this is not what the kind of art that I want to be portraying.
I think that the media serves multiple purposes. One is that it's a money-making machine, and I think that women are portrayed in ways that will generate more money, so in ways that will sell more. I also think that the media is used to create social definitions, so in some ways to sort of tell women how they're supposed to be and place pressure on us on how we define ourselves and how we see ourselves in society.
The overall message, I think, is that they're not on the same level as men, and that they have to sexualize everything.
I feel like what's been going on around songs and pictures, it kind of shows, kind of been telling men how to treat women poorly, how to kind of just use them as a tool for sex, just be a player, kind of hit it, go to the next. I feel like that's wrong.
It's not a lot of I guess, images or portrayals of women in power, on the same level as a male will be portrayed. When it comes to women of color and young women of color, they're not seeing positive images of themselves in the media. Even on young kids shows or in movies, they don't really see characters lead characters that look like them.
I feel like it affects people more in a negative way than a positive. 'Cause I feel like that the media kind of just promotes drugs, violence, and being what people call thoughts. It just promotes everything that's kind of negative.
They don't see themselves in that light, and then they begin to think of themselves and black in general as being something that's negative at a young age, and then they carry that with them for a large part of their childhood and even for the rest of their life if they don't eventually realize that it was something that was pushed on them by the media.
I do see young people trying to emulate some of the lifestyles, behaviors of people who are in fact paid to act that way.
That is just kind of corrupting our youth, and it's kind of making today's society worse.
The way it is right now has a significantly damaging effect on their self-esteem.
We're all kind of affected by what we consume, and so if young people are consuming a lot of these images that portray women in a particular light, there's going to be some sort of an effect on them, especially if they look up to these people and they want to live lives like them.
Love yourself. That sounds corny, but to love yourself, to appreciate how you look, to feel comfortable with how you look, to feel that there's something great about everyone. There's something great about you, even if media images try to communicate to you that you are, what's most important about you is your external appearance.
You're amazing. You're beautiful, and you can do anything you want. Don't let the media, affect or don't let the media try to tell you what you are, what you're supposed to be.
Keep your head up. You are beautiful, and don't settle. Don't settle for something less if you're not comfortable with it.
You should be happy by yourself. You should feel special by yourself. You should love yourself and put time into yourself, get to know yourself before you actually put yourself out there. Because if you don't know yourself and you're not comfortable with yourself, you got low self-esteem, you're not happy with yourself, you're going to let somebody take over, and you're going to let somebody do you really wrong, and you're going to be hurt way worse than you were prior.
I think women especially women of color, have always been resilient and have challenged the narrow definitions placed on us. So I just admire how women continue to stand our ground and create spaces that are centered for women and by women.
To feel empowered enough to tell their truths and not allow anybody else to tell it for them.
Be you, be authentic, be unique, embrace yourself, love yourself. If you're not happy with your situation, find a way to change it. Move out of your comfort zone. Everything you have ever wanted is on the other side of here.
I encourage women to try and maybe not disregard altogether, but to value yourself first, and not try and pay so much attention to the way that others are valuing you. I think really finding what you believe in, what you love about yourself, what makes you feel courageous, the story that you want to tell, and sticking close to that, and also trusting that other people will find the beauty in it.
The misrepresentation of women and women of color in the media is unacceptable in this day and age.
The media is giving beauty another image, and we are greatly influenced by that.
No woman should have to conform to unrealistic beauty standards.
Be who you are even when everyone around you is not.
Embrace who you are and know that you are beautiful.
We should be proud of our skin color, our body weight and height, even our insecurities.
Embrace your beauty, embrace your sexuality, embrace your excellence, especially if no one else will.
Staying true to who you are is what will get you through your battles.
Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, not even the media.
To accurately represent real opinions, women should be allowed a seat at the table, an audible voice in how they are seen and portrayed by the rest of the world.
You shouldn't let anyone or anything put you down for how you look and act.
Be proud because you're beautiful. Be proud of your flaws, body type, and skin color.
To all the black girls, know that your worth isn't found in a man and is certainly not found in the standards that white society has set.
You are a unique woman, so act like one.
I'm a woman.
I'm a woman.
I am a woman.
I'm a woman. I'm a woman.
Phenomenally.
Phenomenally.
I'm a woman phenomenally.
Phenomenal woman.
Phenomenal woman.
Phenomenal woman.
Phenomenal woman.
Phenomenal woman. That's me. That's me.
That's me.
That's me.
That's me.
That's me. That's me.